Hey y'all, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I am a transformational life coach, and my goal for this channel is to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. In today's video, I want to talk about self-care. Now, before you click off and think that this is going to be boring or something that's not of any significance to you, hear me out. Not only is self-care something so important for my own mental health and my own well-being, but if I want to give my best in anything that I do, or if I want to be able to take care of my family at the maximum capacity that I'm capable of doing, self-care has to be my number one priority. Now, if it's something that you haven't heard before, the best analogy that I can give you is this is exactly why when you're on an airplane and they say that if the oxygen masks come down, that you need to put on your oxygen mask before assisting others. You are no good to anybody if you're passed out. You can't help anybody if you're not taking care of yourself first. The same applies in regular life. One of the things that used to really prevent me from having a good self-care practice is that I felt like I had to dedicate an hour at a time or 2 hours out of my day in order to have a really good self-care. And one of the things that I've really been learning a lot with the help of my coach is that self-care doesn't have to be these big chunks of time. Self-care can take 5 minutes. That's one of the things that I really didn't grasp at first. I felt like in order for me to have a really good self-care routine, that I had to wake up at 5 in the morning and I needed to go for a run, or I needed to get my workout in, or I needed to make time to take an hour-long bubble bath, or whatever my perceptions of self-care were. I didn't realize that I could take 5 minutes out of my day and really enjoy a cup of coffee. I didn't realize that I can take 10 seconds to smell the fresh fall air and have just this gratitude and presence with what's going on. That self-care is really about being present. Self-care means anything that you enjoy that's going to keep you in the present moment and keep you out of your own head, so that you're not thinking about things that you should have done in the past, or you're not thinking about things that you need to do in the future. You're just in this moment. And the only thing that matters in this moment is this moment. I used to think also that self-care meant that I needed to have a really strict meditation process, that 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, I was setting aside time to meditate. Now, should I be doing that? Yes, because I think that it would benefit me personally a lot. But I don't need to beat myself up when I'm not meeting these unrealistic goals that I've set for myself. Because when we set these unrealistic goals, all we're doing is we're giving ourselves permission to not do those things, because we're overwhelming ourselves. And we know that we're setting these unrealistic expectations, which is why we've never done it before. So how can we think that we're going to be able to start accomplishing something that has been something we've never been able to attain, and just all of a sudden, well, I'm just going to have stronger willpower now than I've ever had before? If you've ever been there, tell me, does that work? Does it work to just wake up one day, change your mind, and decide you're going to have more willpower? For some of you, maybe, and I applaud you if that's the case. But for me, that has never been the case. All that does is that makes me feel more guilty, makes me harp on myself more, and feel more like a failure. And I'm setting myself up for failure every time I do it that way. So when I'm creating times throughout the day of self-care, it's just about being in the moment. It's about breathing. It's about being present and appreciating what's going on around me. Is there a breeze outside? Am I sitting at my desk that I can't even be outside? Can I look out a window and appreciate seeing the clouds roll by? Can I look out my window and appreciate the sunshine? Can I look out my window and appreciate the rain? Whatever it is, regardless of what it is, can you be appreciative of that? Can you sit for a moment and realize, oh my gosh, I'm having a human experience and it's beautiful? Self-care is not this gateway for self-abuse. I think I need to say that again for some people. Self-care is not a gateway for self-abuse. And so many times we treat it that way. You didn't do what you said you were going to do today. What kind of person does that make you? You failed again. Congratulations. Again, you said you were going to do something and you didn't accomplish it. What did you do today? All of these thoughts that we tell ourselves that go through our mind of this just mean behavior that you wouldn't take from somebody else saying to you. So why are we doing it to ourselves? Don't set yourself up for failure when you make these goals or you make these agreement with yourself that you're going to focus more on self-care. Start with 5 minutes a day. Enjoying that cup of coffee, just stopping what you're doing, whether you're at work or whatever. You can stop for 5 minutes and just appreciate something in your day. When you're eating lunch, instead of just, sometimes we have to work through lunch. I am super guilty of that. Almost every single day I work through lunch. But if I can stop and appreciate each bite and really taste the food that's going into my mouth, that is self-care. Now, does that feel much more realistic than telling yourself you're going to work out 7 days a week for an hour a day and then getting mad and frustrated at yourself when you don't hit that goal? Does that feel more realistic and more something that you can accomplish than by just deciding that you're going to make time to meditate every single day? When you put yourself on that kind of structure, yes, it's great to have plans. Yes, it's wonderful to have a checklist and things that you can do, but self-care should never be forced, because now it's not self-care anymore. It's another obligation that you're going to dread, so you're not going to get any joy out of it. Another thing that I have been personally guilty of is that when I found that my body needs self-care, when I was first getting into self-care, which was not that long ago, I would get frustrated with myself. And I love myself, and the best way I can describe it is if you've ever tried to work out with a toddler, or you ever tried to go on a walk with a small child, and you love them, and you have patience as you understand that they're a child, and you don't have these adult expectations for them, but at the same time, you're like, okay, we've stopped 3 times for you to tie your shoe. Can we continue on now? Or your legs are hurting. Okay, so now I need to carry you. Like, hurry up, let's go. All right, you sat down for 5 seconds. Like, let's go. And that's kind of how I was treating myself. It's like I love myself and I understand that I need this time to recoup and recover and things like that and rest. But I was like, okay, I've got things to do. Are you rested now? Can we go? And I would feel guilty and feel impatient with myself. Yes, I was giving myself the time that I needed for rest, but there was still this underlying frustration or sense of urgency that I needed to get going because I had other things that are more important that I had to do. And as I was going on with that process, the patience came easier and easier each time. So if you have to start that way, just be gentle with yourself. Be forgiving of yourself. I forgive myself for rushing my self-care. I forgive myself for feeling like my self-care is less important than the other things that are going on. And the more, just like anything that you do in life, the more that you practice it, the easier it will come. One of the other things that I had learned, and I literally just had an epiphany of this, is that, say for example, if I have like a small anxiety attack or I'm exhausted or something like that, something where my body literally needs to stop, I've gotten to the point where I recognize, okay, I need self-care now, I need rest, I need to lay down, or it's going to trigger a migraine or something like that. I know when I have certain things going on that I am less productive in that state than I would be if I just took the time to rest and recover, and then I'll be better and stronger in, however long it takes for that rest and recovery. So I have peace and patience with myself when it's triggered by a need that my body literally needs me to stop. But my epiphany came when I realized that there are things that I can do to prevent myself from even getting to that point. That if I were able to do more items of small little 5-10 minute things throughout my day, then that actually would keep me flowing and keep me fulfilled and keep me full of energy, that I'm not just giving it out all day, that it keeps me sustained so that I'm not reaching those points of exhaustion. I'm not reaching those points of anxiety. I'm not reaching those migraines that are triggered by stress. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you need to be generous with yourself in the beginning and you need to be gentle and kind and loving and patient, do that. But also recognize that these little things throughout the day can prevent you from even needing to be at that state at all. And you may already be experiencing that, and you may already be practicing that. Again, I applaud you, and I think that's amazing. This is something that I literally just had an epiphany talking with one of my coaches yesterday about the preventative side of it, how I was proud of myself and glad that I am at a place where I'm no longer rushing myself and getting impatient, but I just completely missed the fact that I can prevent this too. So I hope that was helpful. I know this is a little bit shorter video, but I just wanted to share that with you guys today, the importance of self-care. And if you already have a practice that's working for you, that you absolutely love and you are very present with, tell us in the comments. Share what's working for you so that you can help others as well. And if you find that you're stuck and you don't even know where to start, put that in the comments as well, because we are a community and we're here for each other. And I can comment and go a little bit more in depth about the certain things that I do, and other people, like I said, who are doing this, who have a great system that works for them, they can comment on things that you might be struggling with. And in this is where we build this community. This is where we build this family, and we help each other. So again, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if this video resonated with you, and share this with somebody that you think would really enjoy this message or get something out of it. And y'all, you are amazing. Thank you for being here with me today, and I will see you next time.